Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we, am I? Our game, it's not logical, but you contemplate, are we, am I?
What an absolute banger. Every time that track comes on, it is an absolute banger, and it gets me pumped up. Hello, welcome. We are minutes away from the Sceptres playing the Charge Battle of Ontario. How are you doing on this Saturday afternoon? Let me know in the chat. I see there's plenty of you already hanging out. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We have a Toronto Sceptres team that is not off to the best start this season. There are 6 teams in this league, and the Toronto Sceptres sit in 6th place. They lost in a shootout on Thursday to Montreal, who's the best team in the league so far this season. And last season, the Sceptres had a poor start, but by this time in the calendar, they had already picked it up. They had already started playing a little better. And this year, they're really struggling to get it going. And I hope now against this Ottawa Charge team that hasn't been the greatest either. They've been really struggling to score goals. They're on a streak of not putting up 2 goals in a game for quite a bit of time here. So I hope today is a get-right game for the Sceptres, and this turns around their season, and they go on a little run here, because that's what they'll need to get into the playoffs, just to go on a little run and pick up some points in the standing. So important game early on here in the season for the Sceptres. The NHL world is not letting anybody rest. They just continue to not leave anything for the deadline and make a million trades. So we had the Granlund trade to the Dallas Stars today. Granlund and Cody Ceci. I should really call it the Cody Ceci trade. We all know Cody Ceci is the main part in that one. So we had the Cody Ceci trade to the Stars where they got a first back for him, which is pretty darn cool for the San Jose Sharks. And then we had the huge, giant JT Miller trade yesterday. Steve made a video for that. I was live on YouTube for that. And then after that, while everybody went to bed, the Vancouver Canucks continued to make trades, and they make a trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins to get all of the Pedersons in the league onto their squad, and they send out the first-round pick that they got from the New York Rangers. So let me know what you think about those trades and everything. Let me know what you think about the PWHL season so far, and if you think the Toronto Sceptres can bounce back here. We're still, looks like, a couple minutes away from the anthems and all that stuff and getting going. They're showing the lineups right now on the screen. You can, if you're in Canada, you can watch it for free on CBC. CBC's showing the game, so you can just throw it up next to me as you watch, and we hang out, and then you can watch for free on CBC. And if you're in the rest of the world, PWHL is showing the game on their YouTube channel, so you can just watch it on their YouTube channel for free too. So just the game's available to wherever you want to see it. It is. They're doing the pregame ceremonies and everything right now. They're showing that. Yeah, so we're still a couple minutes more away from the actual puck drop. Gotta say, I don't know if I had this take before about the Charge, if I've publicly talked about it. The Ottawa Charge jersey, not my favorite. The C, it's the Calgary Flames weird C with like it's not even like flames. It kind of looked like bear claws off the back of it. I don't really like the Charge logo. And it's true. You're almost getting like an O, because I guess like it's charging, so it's like going really fast. But I'm not a big fan of the Charge logo. 10 out of 10 on the Sceptres logo though. So that's my Toronto bias. But yeah. Let's work on that logo for the future there, Charge. We got Canada happening now. Devon N says, Ottawa is going to lean on MASH like they always do. You cannot win with only your goalie. That's what Ottawa's been trying to do. They have scored the least amount of goals this entire season out of any PWHL team. They have only 25 goals on the year in 14 games played. They've really struggled to put the puck in the back of the net. And, yeah, they've just tried to win every game through pure goaltending. And that's not a recipe for success. But, yeah, Emrance Mashmeyer, absolute stud in net for Ottawa. But you need more than that. I would think, like, there hasn't been a whole ton of moves in the PWHL in terms of trades, but if Ottawa's looking to really do something this season and not kind of sit on their hands here with this lack of scoring, they'd want to go out and get some scoring from around the league. I don't know who's willing to send out a good forward, a high-scoring forward for some sort of defenseman. I assume it'd be like a D for forward swap there, but I could see like a team like Minnesota picking at Ottawa's D to try and give them some of Minnesota's great goal scoring, and maybe there's a swap there. Maybe there's a trade in line for those PWHL teams. There's Miss Mashmeyer on the screen right now. 4-5-1 on the season, a .933 save percentage, 2.11 goals against average. And then in net for the Toronto Sceptres, we got Reagan Kirk, 905 save percentage on the year, 2.40 GAA. Devin, they have great skaters, but they don't seem to know how to use them. Facts. Today's crew, we have me, Justin, and Robert hanging out. Welcome, everybody, as we get set to kick off this game. Alex Mercer, shout out Alex Mercer, who always likes mentioning in the chat that, yes, I am indeed the Michael Bay of streaming games. I love my buttons. I will never not press my buttons. We have puck drop seconds away. Okay, drop the puck. There we go. There it is. Now on my screen, the puck has been dropped. 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 49, 48, 47, 46. Let me just refresh this scoreboard here. And that is going to get that thing going. Amazing. That's just the web browser there on the PWHL website. Let me know what you're doing on this Saturday. If you got any plans later, if you got any fun lunches coming up. I just had oatmeal. Love a good bowl of oats. Raisins, banana, strawberries, oatmeal. Delicious. That was my pregame meal to get ready for this stream. Let me know what you're munching on this beautiful Saturday. No matter where you are in the world, I hope it's a beautiful Saturday for you. We got a good scoring chance there for the Sceptres. Blocked there. They couldn't get the shot through. I wish they could have got at least a shot on net there. Let's see who can get things going early. Slow start to the game. We're a minute 30 in. I'll count down so you can sync your clocks. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Devin saying, I got some pho yesterday after work and my breakfast is the leftovers. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Leftover pad thai is also elite. Ty Smith, as someone from Ottawa, they dropped the ball. Would have been epic having a mounted Mountie in a charging position. Yeah, I feel like the charge isn't like the C there with the flames on it isn't really representing like the charge logo or anything about Ottawa. Oh, I'm watching the replay of Renata Fast trying to block a shot with her glove. Toronto brings the puck into the zone. The Charge steal it. They're going back up the other way. Bad pass by the Charge there. Fast here coming up from the back end. Sending it in deep. And icing. Renata Fast did not reach the red line. And it's icing. Oh, Jay Rawlings says, I heard they chose Charge as the name because it's the same in English and French. Interesting. So I guess because they're in Ottawa, they want to appeal to both markets. So they go with a name that's Charge. Is that Charge in French, Charge? But like you shouldn't. You're Ottawa, right? Montreal has a team. So you should appeal to the Ottawa people. Oh, we got a good chance in front. Goes high. I'm at 48, 47, 46. Here's a nice little chance, but Mashmeyer covers it up. We got a face-off here. Watching the replay of that shot that went high. Yeah, I think it hit a leg there and it went high. Sexy Jari, quite the username. Sexy Jari writes, Jesse, man, with all these moves being made, what do you think the Caps should do? The Caps should buy and reward their team for the effort that they've had this season so far. I don't have... Hey, we got gifted subs from Wes. Hey, thank you, Wes. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. That round of applause is for you. Little confetti for you. Yeah, the Caps are an interesting piece because I don't have their Puckpedia in front of me right now because I'm watching the charge into the zone and set up here for a nice shot. That goes just wide. But I think the Caps could use one forward. You know, you come into this season and you expect that, hey, here's a little chance here. Oh, great save. Kirk with a great save off the shoulder. We had Vanasova coming in. Oh, great save again by Kirk. Puck's behind the Sceptres net. They need to get out of this trouble here. Oh, bad pass. Charge, get it, but now the Sceptres are coming out of the zone. Here's Blair Turnbull. How much do the Sceptres miss Natalie Spooner? Like, that's kind of... It'd be great if they had one great, excellent scoring forward. And all season long, they haven't been able to have her, and it's been real tough. 0 shots on goal still for the Sceptres. Here, icing on the charge. So we had a question about the Caps, and I don't want to move away from that. The Caps are really close to they're above the salary cap. They have $3.6 million in cap space with all the LTIR fun stuff. UFAs, Mangiapane, Oshie, Dowd, Radish, Vrana, Chikrin, McElrath, Mashmeyer with a save there. Finally, Toronto gets a shot on goal. Coming at 14:21 of the first period. Toronto gets their first shot on goal. A little more offense, Sceptres. A little more offense. Yeah, Jay Rawlings says they've really felt the absence of Spooner. Yeah, like that's literally it. You take this lineup, you add Natalie Spooner. Ooh, we got a shot off the leg, goes back to Mashmeyer, almost an own goal. Was that I think that was Jocelyn Larocque who shot it off her own player and almost into the back of the net. That was a dangerous little play there by Larocque, but saved by Mashmeyer. You know, with all the UFAs that the Caps had, you wonder if, you know, going into the season, they're like, okay, we're trying to be competitive, but if we're not, we got so much deadline fodder we can do. And my biggest question for the Caps is, how much do you play the own rental game? Do you hold on to all of those pieces because you're the team that wants those pieces at the deadline? You don't want to sell them to anybody because you're trying to win. So you can't do the thing where you sell and be good because you have to go for this season when you are so high up in the standings. So it's going to be a really interesting deadline for the Caps. Robert said, a shot. Yes, we got 2 now. There's 2 shots on the board. How fun. Here we go. Oh, centering pass. Great stop by Ottawa. Getting some sticks in there. Here's a chance for the charge. Little shot on goal. The rebound's not controlled, but it's swatted away. That was Zoe Boyd coming up from the back end. Third pairing defenseman jumping up in the rush, getting a shot on goal there. There's Boyd again. Charge looking good here in the middle of the first period. Here's Turnbull. Oh. Shot in front. There's a good save by Mashmeyer. It's got through all of the bodies in front. Ty Smith says, Caps really don't need to do anything. Maybe get some depth D. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you're a good team, you don't need to do anything. And they don't want to sell the one-timer. Blocked by the Charge, and the Charge are going the other way. It's one-on-one. Allie Monroe makes a nice little play there. Forces the play out wide. There's a nice shot. Kirk with the save. A rebound chance. Swatted away. We're getting some chances here now. Kristen Campbell's getting the night off today with Kirk in net. They played on Thursday, so it makes sense. You get Reagan in there. Which side of the Ray gun discourse were you on? People in the chat. Did you enjoy the Ray gun breakdancing controversy over the summer? Were you on the side where it's like, she's ruining the sanctity of the sport? Or were you on the side of, these memes are hilarious? Because it was definitely hilarious. Michael, I will update you on the time the next time the puck drops. Crab people. Devin says, Spoon scored at about the same pace as Matthews last season. It was insane. Michael says, memes won by a mile. Yeah, I feel like the memes outweighed anybody who was upset at like the sanctity of Olympic breakdancing. Like, we're not doing serious stuff here. I get it's the Olympics and all that, but it was also hilarious. Tyson, the memes were hilarious also, and breakdancing shouldn't have been in the Olympics to begin with. Like, before they even had the games this year in France, they already voted that breakdancing would not be a part of the Los Angeles Olympics. Like, they already knew going into this Olympics it wouldn't be there. So Reagan had nothing to do with it. So I think that says a lot about what people thought about breakdancing as a sport. I think it's a great competition, but as a sport, I'm not sure, and I think the Olympic Committee agreed with me. Warrior Womp says, Ray Gun was Ray fun, and it's a shame it's Ray done. Air horns. Thanks for hanging out, Warrior Womp. We got puck drop right now on my screen. 10:37, 6, 5, 4. Here's a shot! Saved. Nice shot there by the Sceptres right off the face-off. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. If you want to sync up your program, it is now stopped at 10:16 with my program. You can watch for free on CBC if you're in Canada, for free on the YouTube page of the PWHL if you are in the rest of the world. Is my audio cutting in and out, or is the Jesse audio cutting out for? Oh my gosh, my audio's cutting out. Oh no. How is this? Is it better now? Maybe I'll boost the mic a little. Maybe I'll talk louder. We got a little pushing and shoving out front, little question marks. Okay, we got 4-on-4 now. Yeah, so Renata Fast had a penalty, and then we come back, and there's another penalty, this time on Brianne Jenner, who takes an interference penalty. So now we got 4-on-4. We had 13 seconds on the previous power play, and now we got a full, 147 on this 4-on-4 action. We're going to open up the ice here for two teams that are struggling to score goals. Maybe this helps one of them. Hopefully the Sceptres get through. Here's a little chance. Shot from the slot. Just wide. Oh. The Sceptres... There's one thing the Sceptres struggle with is the extra pass. So right there, it was at 9:15 on my screen. The Chargers went the other way, and they got a shot on goal there. One thing the Sceptres continually do is they always try for that extra pass instead of throwing it on net. Like right there on the puck that went the other way, they tried to send one right through the middle of the slot from one side of the zone to the other. Like that pass is such a low percentage pass. It's not worth it. It's not worth the attempt to get the free body on the weak side of the ice to try and feed that pass through. You want to just send one on goal, or you send it around the back of the net. And I feel like a little too much this season. There's a nice drive to the net by the Charge. I feel like a little bit too many times this season, they go for that extra pass when you should just play a little more with the puck or send it around the boards or just throw it on net. Hopefully they get more north-south in their game instead of side-to-sides. We're at a commercial break here. We have paused. We have paused the puck, and now we're in a commercial break. Michael's talking about the Jay Ip says go to the net. How we can't say that enough. We can't say that enough. Cassie, you don't need to know. Hey guys, can't stay. Just wanted to say hi. Hello, Cassie. We appreciate you as always. Thank you for at least dropping by, Cassie. The DOS make their first appearance today for Cassie. The Dancing Animal Squad make their appearance for the first time on today's stream. Sexy Jari says, how do we submit questions for the SDPN press conference? You can submit them on Discord. Go to sdpn.ca. You'll see there's a link that says join us on Discord. You can submit questions there. You can always send them on Twitter. You can at the SDPN account and then tag me as well, because I'll see those that way and just send them on Twitter. Those are good ways. And if you have like a longer one, you can always email us in our like general inquiries email. We always look at that inbox. And some people who have longer questions or need to write emails to us, you can email us that way. So there's plenty of ways to reach the show. Michael wrote, I was surprised by the return for JT Miller because it was known he only wanted to go to the Rangers and he had all the power. Hey, first of all, we got gifted subs here. I don't know your username. Cassie, is this you through your friend who gifted the sub? Cassie says, my computer isn't working, but I'll try to send some subs through a friend of mine. I assume that's you through your friend, Cassie. Thank you. That is much appreciated. If you do get a gifted sub, that means you have access to SDP VIP, which gets you an extra episode of the Steve Dangle podcast every week. We have 8, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 on my screen. Shots are 7-3 in favor of the Charge. The 13-second power play that the Sceptres had has expired, and we are back on 5-on-5 hockey. Let's see if the Sceptres can get anything going here. We're in the back half of the first period. We got an icing on the Charge. Face off at the other end. Oh, Cassie says, no, that wasn't mean. Mine should go through in a minute or so. It'll still be from Mike. Oh, so whoever the other person was, I can't see your username, but thank you. Thank you. This confetti is for you. Cassie, you will get your confetti. This one is not for you. This is for the other person that donated 5 subs. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Charge coming the other way. Emily Clark entering the zone. Oh, great play. Great D from the Sceptres there. Oh, my goodness. Great play to squeeze Clark along the back of the boards. Poke that puck free and get out to the neutral zone. We got 20 gifted subs from Cassie. Thank you. Thank you, Cassie. Wow. That is cause to bring out the Dancing Animal Squad. The DOS make an appearance. And a little confetti for you, Cassie. Please, if you have received a gifted sub, thank the person who gave you that gifted sub. Puck is out of play at 6:22 of the first period. They're showing Sarah Nurse right now because the last time she was on the ice, she caught an edge. It looks like her right ankle. Oh, she got right back up. She's on the bench. She was definitely in a little bit of pain there, but Sarah Nurse looks like she caught an edge with her right skate and her right ankle twisted. Here's a penalty on the Sceptres. Uh-oh. That's tripping. I think that's Noy. No, that's Kaylee Flanagan with the tripping penalty. Yeah. Oh. No, that's not a trip. That's not a trip. Oh, I'm like 90% sure the charge player was falling as she went around the back of the net. That is a bad call. Flanagan. That's not a trip. Here's a chance out front. Brianne Jenner throws one on Kirk. Kirk makes the save. Cassie says, okay, I got to go. I'll try and pop in Steve's stream later. Bye, Cassie. Thank you. Thank you for popping in.
Crab people, crab people.
We have face off at 5, 45, 44, 43, 42. Here we go. Waiting for Ottawa to make a move here with the power play. A lot of passing around the edges. They need to throw something on net if they want to get something going. Here's a turnover. Breakaway. Turnbull. Breakaway. Oh, Mashmeyer save. Great D there by the charge to cut off Turnbull on the break. Oh, nice stick again by the Sceptres. They're playing some great D here on the penalty kill. Turnbull almost with the shorty. Hannah Miller with a shot there, almost a shot there. Short-handed. Toronto's getting a lot of pressure here on the PK. It's great stuff. Oh! Tip in front. Goes wide. Toronto can't clear the puck. Yes, they do. Another breakaway! Here we go. 2-0! Finish it! They don't even get a shot! Oh! 2-0 on the PK. Toronto can't beat the defenders. They kind of catch up, and they don't really get a shot on the 2-0. Not great. No icing here. Toronto wins the puck back. Back to even strength. Yeah, not great on the breaks for the Sceptres, but considering they were down a player, can't really complain. Great penalty kill. You just want to capitalize on those opportunities. Need some finish. Natalie Spooner would be great for the finishing touches there on the Sceptres. Mashmeyer plays the puck behind the back of the net. Played it over to Boyd. That was a very exciting power play. Penalty kill. 3:07, 06, 05, 04 on my screen. Shot there is blocked. Shot by the Charges blocked. Michael says, Mashmeyer is my favorite player. You've picked a good favorite player. Definitely top 3 goalies in the league. Have to run down my mind. Best goalies in the league. Maybe 1. Like, who's better than Mashmeyer right now? We could take a look at the stats when we get some time. Tyson, what's the expected return for Spooner? I thought Spooner would have been... Oh, here's a shot on goal. Kirk covers it up. I thought Kirk would have been... Spooner would have been back by now, based on like when the injury happened. But it hasn't been that way at all. So it's really such a wait and see with Spooner. There hasn't been like any real positive updates recently. Back on the ice a little bit, but yeah, it's It's just the waiting game. Let's take a look and see. PWHL stats. PWHL stats. Skaters. Oh, do they not keep goaltenders? So we got skaters, forwards, defenders, all teams, quick stats, rookie scoring, penalty scoring, game winner. Okay, how do I do expanded? How do I do goalie stats? Oh, that's skater stats. So PWHL goalie stats. There we go. Goalie stats. It's on a completely different menu. Save percentage. So, Schroeder on the Sirens has a 930. Elaine Shuley on the Victoire has a 943. Aaron Frankel has a 929. Kristen Campbell has a 927. Desbiens has a 923. Hensley has a 919. And Mashmeyer has a 915. But the shots faced is where the discrepancy happens, because no one in the league has faced more shots than Mashmeyer. So her 915 save percentage means more in my eyes than the 920s. But strictly numbers, Elaine on the Victoire in 8 games played a 949. We're back in the action here. Puck is just dropped, so we'll get back to the more PWHL stats. We are at, scorebug needs to come back up, 210 on my screen. Shot wide. Oh, Kirk's out of the net. We have a penalty on the Charge. 2:05 left in the first. That's Jocelyn Larocque. Sceptre, Jocelyn Larocque, charges her ex-teammate. She was going in hard to the net. Knocks Kirk right over, and yeah, that's a clear penalty. Power play here for the Sceptres. They have the best power play in the league at 26.2%. They're just flashing the graphic on the screen there. First power play of the game. Technically they had a 13-second power play earlier. Here's a shot. Goes wide. Sarah Nurse is trying to get that puck free. Can't quite do it. Charge, get the puck. They're sending it out to neutral zone. Oh, they still got it. Shorthanded opportunity. Puck is tipped over and wide of the net. Let's see if the Sceptres can get something here with this last minute here of play. Puck's down behind the net. 55 seconds left. 50 seconds on the power play. Puck's at the point. Can we get any kind of shot here? There's a shot, but it goes wide. One more opportunity. Puck goes wide again. Let's see. Hey! There it is. Julia Gosling with the goal. Firing pucks on net. It works. Firing pucks on net works. The number one power play in the league capitalizes, and it's not fancy. It's not pretty. It's a shot that's screened. Mashmeyer can't see it. Snipes the corner. Sceptres goal, everybody. Let's bring out the squad. Julia Gosling's first goal of the season. That is what they needed. They got bodies in front. They created some traffic. Gosling stepped up, shot the puck directly at the corner. Mashmeyer couldn't see it. Great goal to end the first period here. 14 seconds left. It is 1-0 Sceptres heading to the first intermission. Hell yeah. All right, I had some intermission content for you guys. Let's see what we're going to play. We have Steve talking about Marcus Pettersson and the second deal that Vancouver made. And then we had the Leafs struggling from the Steve Dangle podcast. Aunt Seb says, where can this be watched? TSN, never watched a PWHL game. You can watch it on CBC. Today's game is on CBC. If you have CBC Gem, you can stream it for free. A CBC Gem account is free, so you can just watch it for free on cbc.ca. Or if it's on your television, you get CBC on your television. You can watch it there. If you are outside of Canada, you can watch it for free on the PWHL YouTube channel. And if you're outside, if you're in Canada, you want to watch it there. I'm sure VPNs don't exist. So there you go. Hello, chat. If you have any questions, drop them in. If you have any concerns, drop them in. If you just want to hang out with Justin and Robert in the chat, you can do that all afternoon because they will be here hanging out with us. Steve Dangle will be streaming the Leafs game tonight. The Leafs are in Edmonton. I thought it was hilarious that Connor McDavid brought up the time change that the Leafs require when they play in Edmonton, because you got to start the games at 7 o'clock. Like, it's a 7 o'clock puck drop for Saturday night for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but Edmonton's used to the 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. local puck drops because of where they are in the world. I guess because they're 2 hours, right? So it'd be the 9 o'clock. Or no, they're 3 hours. They're 3 hours. So starting game at 2 hours. They're starting to get 5 today local. They're 2 hours. So they're used to the 9 o'clock starts local time. But yeah, they got to move it because the Leafs are in town. So I thought Connor McDavid throwing shots at Toronto was very funny ahead of the game tonight. I think this is a game the Leafs win with Nyes and Tavares back in the lineup on them on their 3-game losing streak. I think they're happy to get away from the city after not playing too much but having a bunch of obligations around the team and team events and not being able to practice fully. Now you get in full just hockey mode on the road. You're playing in Edmonton. You're playing in Calgary. You go down to Seattle. You go back up to Vancouver. It's a 4-game swing where it's just hockey practice, hockey practice. They're going to be focused. They're going to be motivated. I think they get a win tonight over the Oilers. That's my prediction for the game. Hawkenpaw is not going to play at the Four Nations. And what a weird signing this has been. The Yanni Hawkenpaw saga with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He kind of signed with them in July. We all knew he was going to sign with the Leafs, and then he doesn't sign with the Leafs in July. And then come September 1st, he officially signs with the Leafs. And then he's not ready for the start of the season. He plays 2 games in the middle of the fall. And then after those 2 games, he goes back and he's injured again. And then now we got the announcement that he's not going to play at Four Nations, and he's been officially removed from that roster. So he's not going to play at Four Nations because he's too hurt and hasn't played any hockey. It's weird to sign a guy who you can't play ever. So hopefully the Leafs get Hakanpää for down the stretch and for the playoffs. But there's a shot here he plays 2 games for the Leafs and never plays for the Leafs ever. We can talk about that more when we come back from this intermission break, because I'm going to play the video that I was teasing, and then I'll come back and chat more with you about Jani Hakanpää not being a Leaf right now. All right, here we go. I'll be back right after this clip.
Patrick Alvin and the Vancouver Canucks must have itchy thumbs because they keep working those phones. Hey, look, it's Sidney Crosby and Quinn Hughes. That's actually perfect. After the Vancouver Canucks trade JT Miller to the New York Rangers, they make another big splash in a deal that, if you were a Vancouver Canucks fan, you probably saw before you went to bed. And if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, you're waking up very confused. Marcus Pettersson is a Canuck, and the Pens get a first-round pick for their troubles. Here is the full trade. The Vancouver Canucks acquire defenseman Marcus Pettersson. They now have 3 dudes named Pettersson, and forward Drew O'Connor. In exchange for Danton Heinen, Vinny Desharnais, Melvin Fernstrom, prospect, 3rd-round pick from 2024, and a 2025 first-round pick from the Rangers. So, there's a lot to keep up with, and this might be confusing. The Vancouver Canucks just got a first-round pick from the New York Rangers in the JT Miller deal. It is a protected first-round pick. They have already pitched that first-round pick out the door. In Marcus Pettersson, the Canucks get, first of all, their 3rd Pettersson. The Canucks have Elias Pettersson, the forward, Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, and now Marcus Pettersson, the defenseman. So to anyone doing play-by-play for any Canucks games, good luck. But seriously, Marcus Pettersson is a pretty good defenseman, kind of underrated. He makes just a hair over $4 million against the cap. The actual number is $4.025, $175. What? I know Kyle Dubas didn't sign that deal, but that's very Kyle Dubas. Now, we don't know what the Vancouver Canucks' plans with Marcus Pettersson are. They could easily flip him, and any team I think will be lining up to get the guy. He is a very lanky defenseman. He's only 175 pounds, or that's what he's listed at, but he's 6'5". The Edmonton Oilers describe Vinny Desharnais, who we'll get to a little later, as Seaweed Man. I think Marcus Pettersson might be actual Seaweed Man. Decent offensive capabilities, good underlying numbers, and a guy who's been in the league for a long time. He was a 2nd-round pick in 2014, which is now over a decade ago. Let's all melt. Here's what I like about this for the Vancouver Canucks. If Marcus Pettersson wants to stay there, he's good. Good. You need help on D. That's great news. Extend him. If he doesn't want to stay, it's not a disaster. Listen, as poorly and as sideshowy as the Vancouver Canucks season has gone, they have a very realistic shot at making the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. They did pretty well in the Stanley Cup playoffs last year. Why blow the whole thing up as it's been rumored they're trying to do? Rumors have been flying, like I've heard JT Miller, he obviously got traded. Elias Pettersson, we'll see what happens there. Then they'll only have 1 Elias Pettersson and 2 Petterssons altogether. I've heard Besser stuff. I've heard Demko stuff. The Quinn Hughes getting mentioned by Jim Rutherford at all is terrifying, even if it's in the context of, I don't want to trade him. Yeah, he's going to win the Norris again. Of course you don't want to trade him. Why'd you even bring him up? If the Canucks pull the chute on this season, they have until March 7th. That's when the trade deadline is. If things obviously aren't working out, he's obviously not going to stay, the Canucks could trade Pettersson at the deadline for a pretty decent fee. Like, for example, the Rangers' first-round pick. Which is why I don't think the Canucks got Pettersson to flip him. I think they got Pettersson to... It's so weird saying Canucks and Pettersson, and I'm not talking about Elias. The Canucks got Marcus Pettersson to keep him. That's my guess. Pure guess. The Canucks also get Drew O'Connor, who has 6 goals, 10 assists for 16 points in 53 games this season. 26-year-old forward, he's a pending UFA as well. We'll see if they keep him or flip him. But here's what this trade is in terms of money. The Vancouver Canucks take on more cap hit for this season, but they trade guys who have years left on their contract for a little bit less money. Basically, the Canucks save money in the long term, but they take on a little bit of cap right now. I don't want to make everything about the Leafs, but like there's so many fingerprints on this deal that make me go, yeah, that's a Kyle Dubas move for sure. We've seen him do stuff like this before. Oh, okay, I'll take on money now, but you got to take money down the road or I'll be on the other end of that. And there's elements of this trade that remind me of the Jake McCabe trade from Chicago to Toronto, except in this case, Dubas would be on the other side of it. On the Penguins' end of things, I know Dubas' stock isn't high right now, and on my podcast, we've been very critical of the job Dubas has done in Pittsburgh. I like this deal. With this deal, the Pittsburgh Penguins acquired Danton Heinen, who has pinged around the NHL and returned to the Bruins where he started, and now he's returning to the Penguins where he used to be. And I'd love to turn this into a joke about Kyle Dubas loves his guys, but Heinen's time with the Penguins actually predates Dubas. The Vancouver Canucks didn't just trade a first-round pick to get Marcus Pettersson, they also traded a first-round pick to pitch a few bad contracts out the door. Here's the problem. They just signed those bad contracts. Danton Heinen is in year 1 of a 2-year deal he signed this summer, $2.25 million against the cap. What's he got? 6 goals, 11 assists for 17 points in 50 games. He's essentially Drew O'Connor, but for more than double the cap hit. Well, how on earth did he get that cap hit in the first place? Well, he had a good first season in Pittsburgh, 18 goals, followed by a bad second season in Pittsburgh, 8 goals, followed by a 17-goal season in Boston, along with nearly 40 points. Canucks give him a 2-year deal at not an outrageous cap hit, but definitely more than league min, and he hasn't worked out. Not sure about the long game in Pittsburgh. We'll see if his game rebounds. Then there's Vinny Desharnais. $2 million against the cap. Year 1 out of 2. He signed the deal this past summer! The towering defenseman wasn't even an everyday defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers, good as they were last year, and he found a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract in Vancouver, only to be traded before Valentine's Day. Now, I actually don't mind this acquisition for Pittsburgh because I think this is a defenseman they'll actually use. The Penguins have a lot of guys back there who can move the puck. The problem they've had is keeping the puck out of their own net, and this might help their goalies out a bit. We'll see. A lot of people don't like those brutish zero offense defensemen, but like you need them in some situations. Pittsburgh spends too much money on their decor for it to be as bad as it is. Vinny Desharnais might be able to help that situation, but losing Marcus Pettersson in the process won't. So do the Penguins get better now with this trade? No, I don't think so. But do they get better later? Yeah, I definitely think so. They got an 18-year-old prospect named Melvin Fernstrom, and he is thoroughly a prospect. This isn't a, oh yeah, he's 24. No, he's not a prospect. Fernstrom was actually just drafted in June by the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks love getting guys in the summer of 2024 and immediately firing them out the door. He's a forward. Scott Wheeler from The Athletic does a lot of prospect stuff. He said, Penguins fans, Melvin Fernstrom was my 6th-ranked Canuck prospect, would slot 11 to 15 somewhere in the Pens pool, though. So that's not the greatest news because, I mean, that he's pretty far behind in the Penguins prospect pool. But the good news is he's kind of far behind in the Pens prospect pool. Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins got a lot of grief for not getting a first-round pick for Jake Gensel last year, which still looks wild. But some of the prospects they got in the Jake Gensel deal, even though they weren't first-round picks, have looked pretty good in the American League this year. Vasily Ponomarev, he got a 3-game cup of coffee with Pittsburgh. He didn't get any points, but in the AHL this year, in nearly 30 games, he's been close to a point a game. I know it's the AHL, but that's better than a kick in the pants. Billy Koivunen, another prospect the Penguins got in that deal, he's been near a point a game in the AHL this season, and he's only 21. Again, hasn't played an NHL game yet, but better than a kick in the pants. And of course, you can add to that prospect pool with the first-round pick that you're getting from the Canucks via the Rangers. Or is it the Rangers via the Canucks? They're getting a first-round pick. So some trades need to be judged based on who got the best player, right? Or who got the most stuff. The way I try to look at trades is I look at each team involved and I go, did you accomplish what you set out to? Do I know what you're doing? With the Pittsburgh Penguins, I know exactly what they're doing with this trade. They're acquiring futures. They got Vinny Desharnais, who, I don't know, he might help them now, he might not. We'll see. Danton Heinen, he might help them now, he might not. We'll see. They get a little prospect there, a third rounder from 2024, and they get a first round pick. They acquired futures, beginning, middle, end. With the Vancouver Canucks, there's so many directions this trade could go that I'm not totally sure what they're trying to do or what they think they are. I think a lot of people's perception of the Vancouver Canucks this season is warped because of what a sideshow they've been. They're actually not that bad, guys. They're really not. Are they in a playoff spot right now? Okay, I just checked. I think they were yesterday, but the Calgary Flames are 1 point up on them right now. And the Canucks are 2 points behind the LA Kings, and if they were to leapfrog them, they'd be third in the Pacific. So the race there isn't over by a long shot. Now, if Marcus Pettersson turns out to just be a rental for the Vancouver Canucks and they don't really do anything in terms of making the playoffs or even going deep in the playoffs, then this trade looks a lot more suspect. But if they do one or both of make the playoffs and extend Pettersson, this is a pretty reasonable deal for them. Like, okay, what do you lose over the last 24 hours? JT Miller, well, that's bad. I mean, in terms of the talent you're losing, yeah, it's bad. You lose Vinny Desharnais. Well, you don't mind that. You lose Danton Heinen. Well, you don't mind that. First round pick in, first round pick out. That doesn't count. You acquire Drew O'Connor. You acquire Marcus Pettersson. You acquire Philip Hedl. You acquire Victor Mancini. Did you get better up front? Well, no, but you got cheaper up front. Did your blue line get better? Yeah, it got much better, I think. Did you give up a chunk of your future to do it? No. Are the Canucks better? We'll see. I'm fascinated what you think of this deal because I think the JT Miller trade, that's a big name. Rantanen deal. That's a big name. This trade is for the nerds. Look at us talking about a Marcus Pettersson trade here on a Saturday morning. We're sick puppies. Nerds. What do you think of this deal? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. This one's for the nerds.
As Steve Dangle said there, oh, my mic's a little hot now. Trying to turn it up for you all. As Steve Dangle said there, like this video, hit subscribe on the channel. We greatly appreciate all of your subs and likes. All right, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard for the NHL. Let me see if this can work. Is there enough? Okay, no, we can see it there. Okay. 3-1 Panthers over the Blackhawks right now. 36 shots on goal for the Panthers, which is absolutely insane in comparison to 16 for the Blackhawks. We are nearing the end of the second intermission there. Later tonight, we see the debut of JT Miller against the Boston Bruins. The 1-2-3 down the middle for the Rangers now is going to be so good. I'm excited to see what lineup they actually go with once that game starts. That's going to be fun. That's coming up in like 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes-ish. Then we got the Wild and the Sens who have been absolutely on fire, climbing up the standings. Trying to track down the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Atlantic Division there, and they are getting close to doing it. You know, they're only a couple points back right now. Then we got Lightning Islanders who are playing well as of late, but I don't think they have enough in them to make a long push. Saka 2756 says Florida outshot Chicago 22-3 in the first. That's ridiculous. We got Preds, Penguins, the Penguins, new look Penguins, making all those moves with Vancouver last night. Jets, Caps. This is the game of the night. Top teams in the league going head to head. Jets versus Caps. There is a litmus test for both teams. Kings, Hurricanes, and Leafs, Oilers, Red Wings, Flames rounds out the night. Let's pull back up the PWHL game that we are all watching. The Toronto Sceptres against the Ottawa Charge. Sceptres up 1-0 as we begin the second period. We are closing in on puck drop here. Julia Gosling had the first goal of the game, the only goal of the game, with a power play goal on a screened Mashmeyer. Here we go. Puck has been dropped. 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50 on my television screen if you would like to sync up your stream with my stream. Paul Maurice has the Panthers and Jets on a roll. Leafs Dude says, am I the only one that didn't know this game was on until I got this stream? I don't know. I knew the game was on because I was streaming it. I think because last year all the games were on YouTube in Canada, that's probably where the information gap is for you right now. Because last year you could stream every game, no matter where you were, on YouTube. Here's a chance for Ottawa! Great save by Kirk. This year, however, because of broadcast rights, the PWHL is on television. You know, they're on TSN, they're on CBC, they're on Amazon. So not every game in Canada is on YouTube. So you, if you're in America, you can still watch every game on YouTube. But in Canada, we got to watch it on television when it's on television. There's a chance there for the Sceptres at 18-27 of the first. Shots are 11-5. One-timer out front. The one-timer doesn't get through. Good pressure here from the Sceptres. Another shot on Mashmeyer, who covers it up at 18-07. Great shift there by Turnbull, Connors, and Comfer. That second line for the Sceptres. Oh, it was a nice tip through the legs. And they're showing the replay of the one-timer. That was Maggie Connors with the one-timer in front that just went wide. Face-off here coming up at 18:07. Puck has been dropped. Sceptres lose the draw, but get the puck, and they keep it in the zone. Let's throw a couple more shots on net. They try and squeeze one through, but it's tipped. The Chargers trying to get the puck through. Mashmeyer covers it up as it trickles back to the goaltender. We had a check-in on the standings earlier if you weren't here. Toronto, sadly, in last place in the league, in the original six. They are 6th of 6th. Not a great start to the season. But this Ottawa team has struggled to score goals and are in 5th. So if you can hold a lead here, you don't need many goals to beat this Ottawa team. Like, that's the thing. Oh, here's a chance! Open cage, but they can't get the rebound. Izzy Daniel throws it around the back of the boards. Oh, it's been all Sceptres right now to start this second period. It's been fabulous stuff. Jocelyn the Rock trying to play the puck around the back of the net. Can't do it. And I think finally are the Chargers going to leave the zone? What fantastic pressure for the first 3 minutes. There's another shot. They can't leave the zone. That was Watts with a nice one-timer. As the puck is... Okay, finally the Charge break out. Now we got a one-on-one chance on the goaltender. Vinashova can't beat Allie Monroe. Great start. Mark Bell, hello. Hello, Mark Bell. From Bloomington, Indiana. Mark Bell from Bloomington, Indiana. if you're around, let me know who you're rooting for, because you are the most impartial. Are you a Ottawa Charge fan or a Toronto Sceptres fan in Bloomington, Indiana? Great little save by Kirk. Emily Clark there with the shot on Kirk. Kirk with the great save. It's been all Sceptres to start this second. Ottawa wins the face-off, though. Oh, no! Let's watch the replay of that goal. That's Emily Clark with a great rebound. So Charge win the face-off back. It goes to the blue line. Toronto can't clear the puck when it comes from behind the back of the net. Oh, great little play by Emily Clark, hitting the puck out of midair. It wasn't even a pass to her. She's just in the right spot at the right time. In the right spot at the right time. She goes to the net. Emily Clark bats a puck out of midair. It was like halfway up the goal. Gets it right past Kirk. And it's 1-1 Charge and Sceptres. I was just talking about how much the Charge struggle to score goals. So maybe you only need a couple to win, but after it was all Sceptres to start the second period, the Charge get one chance off of a face-off. Great play by Emily Clark to bat it in, and now it is 1-1 on the scoreboard. 15:47. Hey, this is Say No More in the chat. $5 chat. Thank you. That's for you, Say No More. Little confetti, little air horns. They write. I hope going forward we hear more from you, Jesse, on podcasts. Always adding fun and great takes. If I owned a team, you are my GM, new member. Thank you. Thank you, Say No More. I think I do my fair share of talking. I think I do my fair share of putting my opinion out there. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the Jesse Blake Sports Report YouTube channel, I have my own channel too. If you want more talking from me, you can find me over there. Hit subscribe on that channel. Hit like on this video. If you don't like this video, how dare you? How dare you sit here and enjoy this content without liking this video? 15:10 on my screen. The Sceptres are trying to enter the zone, and they do. But the puck goes back out to the neutral zone, and now they tag up, and they're back in. Emma Malte sends it in deep. Puck goes back out to center ice. Tyson, that Stanley Cup winning GM, Jesse Blake. Hey, here's a break here. Mashmeyer, great save. She read that so well. It was telegraphed by the Sceptres on this 2-on-1. Mashmeyer read it perfectly, was over on the other side well before the puck, well before the shot for an relatively easy one-timer save. Kirk made a fabulous play off the boards to spring the Sceptres for this 2-on-1. Ooh, that was a little closer than it looked. Almost snuck through Mashmeyer. Oh, toe save. Beautiful stuff. And then we got a lot of pushing back and forth there. If I were to fire up a new NHL GM mode in NHL 25, what team would you want me to rebuild? if you could watch me rebuild, well, we rebuild together because the chat is always my AGMs whenever I stream NHL 25. If you could help me rebuild any team, what team would it be? The Penguins would be one hell of a time. I've been leaning towards doing a Penguins rebuild where I take over Dubas's job and we see how it goes. Oh, here's a chance. Can't complete the 2-on-1. There's another slapper. Caught by Mashmeyer, 13-35. They cover the puck, and we got a pause here in the action. We're going to commercial break. We got Buffalo, says definitely Mike. Ottawa, says Haley Long. Ottawa would be fun, too. Ottawa's a good team to rebuild. But they're competitive now. There's not a lot like to do, I think. I wouldn't want to mess with Ottawa. Like, I'm like, oh, they're good, you know? I don't know what to do. Haley says, Senators, please. Real team of the 32 or made-up one. That is an option, Tyson. So I could always, in the game, you have the option to add the 33rd team, and they'll add it to the league and make the schedule that way. So I could always do that. I could always take out a team. Like, I could take out Utah and then pretend like I got the expansion. Like, I'm Ryan Smith, and I got the expansion team, and then I'm the GM or whatever. But, like, we could take out Utah, put a new team in there, and call them whatever, put them wherever, and do that as an expansion team kind of thing. Or we could add the 33rd team. Nick says it just feels right for you to stick with the Leafs. That's, you know, if I don't do like the Penguins, it's probably Leafs again is where it would be my second choice because I always just run it back with the Leafs. I won a Stanley Cup with the Leafs, so that maybe I continue that franchise mode, the one I did in NHL 24. Maybe I just fire back up and continue it. That would be interesting. Pittsburgh or Vancouver. Vancouver would be a great one right now because then you can do like you're replacing Jim Rutherford after he trades JT Miller, and then you got Pettersson and all that nonsense going on there. That'd be a good one. Do the Sens, but then move them to Quebec City as the Nordiques. That's mean, Tyson. Julian said Nashville. Nashville's an interesting one, you know, because they suck right now, but they're supposed to be good. So how much do you actually rebuild? I think that'd be a good one too. A lot of good options, a lot of fun stuff going on in the league right now. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do when I fire up NHL 25, which team I will choose to GM. Puck is dropped here at 13:35. Charge win the faceoff. They're going up, but a puck hits. Here we have a break. Hey! That's Turnbull with the goal off of the turnover. The puck hit a skate in the neutral zone. Turnbull turns the other way. Blair puts it in the back of the net with a great little dangle on Mashmeyer. That is, ladies and gentlemen, a Sceptres goal. Let's bring out the Dancing Animal Squad. That's a nice goal by Blair Turnbull. Fourth goal of the season. Fourth goal of the season for Blair Turnbull. What a great play to capitalize on an opportunity where you get a weird bounce at center ice and you immediately turn it around and turn it into a goal. Great play. Because it seems like goals are going to be hard to come by for the Sceptres with the amount of of offense they've had and no results so far. So I love that they're able to capitalize on that one real quick. Two-one Sceptres, 12:51 on my screen. Turnbow's got 2 assists, 4 goals on the year now. 1 assist in this game, 1 goal in this game. First star of the night so far is Blair Turnbull. See if anybody can take it from her, but right now, first star of the night, Blair Turnbull. Charge here, need to charge, get something going. They mentioned on the broadcast 19-6 in face-offs for the Charge, and you can tell, like, you can feel that. Or you can see it if you're watching, but you can feel like every time there's a stop and there's a play, it's the Charge going up the ice, and that's how they scored their 1 goal is off the face-off. Here's a nice save by Kirk. Puck that found its way through is squeezed, and we're going to have another face-off here. Let's see if the Charge pick up this victory again in the face-off dot. They're showing the replay of the shot that found its way through. Yeah, it was from deep. Ooh, it was a nice little tip there. That's a difficult save by Kirk. Mark Bell, Indianapolis Racers, the team Gretzky played for here. Add a team to Indiana. Does Indiana need a hockey team? Indianapolis Racers. I don't know if is Indianapolis a good market for an NHL team? Like Atlanta needs one. Houston needs one. Where else could we put NHL teams? I think those are the big 2. Portland would be interesting. Oh! Someone just got hammered. Oh, Emma Malte got hammered. Oh, no. Malte's she's at the bench. She's on the bench. I got to see the replay of this. Here's a chance here. Oh, Sarah Nurse, great chance. Great chance for Sarah Nurse right out front. Had a good little dangle, but Mashmeyer makes a fantastic save. I got to see the first stoppage, we got to see that hit. I don't know who laid it on Malte, but that was a big one. Once a game, you get like a really big hit in these PWHL games. You know, no one's going head hunting, but like once a game, you got a big collision. Emma Malte is a tough player, though. She was gonna bounce back up and be good. Ten 10 on my screen, 10:09, 10:08, 10:07, 10:06, 10:05 if you want to sync up your stream with my stream. All right, we got a stoppage here at 10:01 offsides. Here we go with the hit. Oh, it was Jocelyn Larocque. Ooh. So, Jocelyn Larocque, former Sceptre, traded earlier, early January, late December? When did that trade happen? A couple weeks ago, Larocque traded from the Sceptres to the Charge. Now laying giant hits on her ex-teammates. And Malte goes down. Looks like she'll be all right. Mark Bell says, Indy is too overwhelmed with Colts and Pacers. Oh, there's another hit. I have to drive 5 hours to see any NHL game. You guys got, like, the hottest WNBA team because you have Caitlin Clark. like Indiana Fever, there's a fever pitch for Indiana Fever action. Wherever the Fever go, they're selling out every ticket so everybody can watch Caitlin Clark. If you've been to a Fever game, let me know how that is, because like number one franchise going in terms of ticket sales has got to be just because of Clark. Let me know how the Fever's been in that market, Mark Bell. We have gifted subs. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Say No More. I appreciate you. Thank you. I will bring out some dancing animals for you. A little confetti, little air horns, round of applause. Say No More has gifted 5 memberships. If you received a gifted membership, please thank the donee who donated those memberships to you. 8:20 left on my screen. The Sceptres now in the offensive zone, trying to get another one on the board after making it 2-1 earlier on the Blair Turnbull goal. Ottawa Charge, got the puck though, are turning it up the other way. Another turnover in the neutral zone. These turnovers have been... Oh, Sarah Nurse on the break off the turnover. Can't put one in the back of the net. A lot of neutral zone turnovers for the Charge. They've been very sloppy, and we almost had another one turn into a goal for the Sceptres. This time it was Sarah Nurse again on the break. Sarah Nurse could not finish, however. That's another breakaway she couldn't finish on. Another chance in front that she couldn't finish on. A little snake-bitten Sarah Nurse is, or Mashmeyer is just playing amazing. Hopefully Nurse can get one by the goalie sometime very soon. Entire Pizza says, I can't wait to go to one of these PWHL games. In real life, PWHL games are so fun, says SDPN. That's Justin Robert on the chat there. Yes, they are so fun. I went to the last playoff game where they got eliminated by the Minnesota Frost, and it was not great, but the atmosphere was electric. And then I was at one of the games because they used to play at TMU at the university in Toronto there, in a smaller venue, but now they play where the Toronto Marlies play, the Toronto's AHL franchise, so they're in a bigger stadium. And it was a really good atmosphere at TMU because it's so close. You know, everything's like right there. It's a university rink, so it's like not very big, and they're like not a big school, so it was really cool seeing the team there. But they should be in this actual real pro venue where they are now, and it's a great atmosphere there. And then the best ones are the ones where they play at the big arena here, the Scotiabank Arena where the Leafs play. Those are the best atmosphere because we're always selling it out here in Toronto. They've already had 2 games at Scotiabank this season, and both times just electric 18,000 fans in there to watch the Toronto Sceptres play. So yeah, if you can get out to a game for the Sceptres or whichever PWHL franchise is closest to you, I highly encourage you to do it. They got some of the best atmospheres. I hear ticket sales are struggling for the New York market, though, which is surprising. Maybe they're in the wrong venue because I know they're playing out in like Connecticut, the New York Sirens, and then they moved arenas again. I gotta look up how that's been going because, yeah, been following the Sceptres, but I gotta check in on how New York Sirens have been doing because I hear it's a little struggling there in that market. But Toronto here, we are a devoted fan base for this team. I asked Mark about the Indiana Fever, and I think I got a response here. Mark says, have not been to a Fever game yet, but they are huge here. Though IU football, Indiana University football is a huge draw in Bloomington, a city like Waterloo, Ontario, with a 50K stadium. Oh, wow. So, yeah, university football, huge there in Bloomington. Okay, so the Fever are huge. Mark, you get out to a game next time when you get out to a game when the next season starts. I know we're a couple months away from the WNBA season, so you can't give me an update anytime soon. But once you do, hop in one of these streams months from now and let me know how it goes, and we'll chat. We'll chat, Mark, because I'd love to hear how it goes. Toronto's getting a WNBA team. They called them the Tempo. Toronto Tempo. I'm like indifferent on the name. Names don't really matter at the end of the day. You can call a team anything. I always bring up the example. You got two teams in baseball named after socks. You got names like numbers like 76ers and 49ers. Like, those aren't good names. Those are ridiculous names. Leafs isn't grammatically correct. It's leaves, people. So I'm not upset at the Tempo name. The logo they stole a lot of it from the Indiana Pacers. You know, it looks a lot like the Pacers logo. But it's going to be so much fun having a WNBA team. Then when Caitlin Clark comes to town, you can see her locally. That'll be cool. Hopefully that the WNBA team gets as much support as the Sceptres have gotten. That team's going to be playing out of Coca-Cola just like the Sceptres. We're shortly running out of venues in Toronto. Like, we need a couple, like another one of these arenas. That's these like 9,000 seats, maybe a 10,000. So we got an offside here at 15-15. Renata Fost comes in offsides for the Sceptres. 2-1 Sceptres over the Charge. 5:15 left in the second period. We are in a commercial time out. $2. Say no more donuts. Hey, say no more. Thank you. Round of applause. A little confetti for you. It's Rob on the SDPN account. Hello, Rob says. Justin is working. Justin, you better be working. Say no more with the $2. That's why we had the round of applause and the air horns and the confetti. Say no more writes. Would love your take, Jesse. Marner, what do we do? When you have time, the old adage goes, when you have time, use it. The Toronto Maple Leafs are under no pressure to sign Mitch Marner right now. They do not need to give him a deal. They can use the time allotted to them and wait and see how the playoffs go. Because we know what Mitch Marner is during the regular season. He has been an unbelievably consistent regular season performer. 90 points every year. Just short of 100 points every single time out. He's going to put up a boatload of assists. He's going to put up a decent amount of goals. He's going to be a star on some nights. He's going to be able to carry the team when Austin Matthews is out. He's going to have stretches where he's the best player in the league, one of the best players in the league. He's going to have stretches where it's like, okay, he's not great, but he's still maintaining those point levels. And year in and year out, you know you are getting that from Mitch Marner. But when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs, it can be a little different. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have the benefit of waiting to see how he performs in this year's playoffs. And at that point, you offer him a contract based off of that. That is what I think the Toronto Maple Leafs should do with Mitch Marner. Use the time, react to how the playoffs go. If he is good, that is good. If he is bad, that is bad. That's what I think happens with Mitch Marner. I think everything's waiting until we see how the playoffs go. We have 4:48 here on the clock. The Ottawa Charge are in the zone, setting up along the blue line. They throw a long one on the net. Kirk makes a save. We got Hannah Miller breaking out of the zone. Neutral zone. Puck is fumbled. Sceptres get the puck. Ty Smith says the Leafs should have done that with Willie. Wait. Willie's deal is unbelievable. I disagree with that because I think that 11.5 that Willie signed for looks so good right now. Now that we have the... Oh my gosh, that's a big hit! That's a penalty. Sarah Nurse was knocked over. So there's Jinsey Rose. You're not allowed to hit someone head on. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Jinsey Rose gets the penalty, and this is a penalty because in the PWHL, if you hit somebody shoulder to shoulder, the power play started here. I got 3:50 on my clock, 1:50 on the power play remaining. Let's talk about why that was a penalty. Toronto Sceptres are working the puck around the outside of the zone. A shot from deep. Renata Fast throws it on net, beats Mashmeyer. That is a Sceptres goal. That is a Sceptres goal. It is 3-1 Sceptres. Renata Fast's second goal of the season. Throwing it on net works. This is the #1 power play team in the league. And once again, for the second time this game, they have capitalized on the power play. 2 of their 3 goals this game have come on the power play. They are deadly at 5-on-4. And they are up 2 goals on the Ottawa Charge. The Ottawa Charge, who struggle to score goals. This lead is looking more and more insurmountable as the game goes on. 3:04, we have an icing call. Puck's going the other way. Renata Fast leads the league in power play points. They have this on the screen right now. She's got 9 power play points. Hannah Miller's got 6, tied with a whole bunch of other players at 6. Renata Fast running away with the power play points there. So, Radka says, Radka, shout out you right now. Not the brain rot goal graphic. Hey, yes, that is what we are here for. If you've never been one of our streams, yes, we have all of the graphics to rot your brain. Say no more. I appreciate you. Thank you. Round of applause for $2. Thank you for the donation. My GM every day. Love it. My man. Yes. Mwah. Tyson, this game is a big game in terms of playoff picture. Yes, it is. These are 2 teams at 5th and 6th place in the standings. They are fighting each other to sneak into the playoffs there and work out the playoff standings. Playoffs, PWHL. They're doing the, I had to double check. It's 5 best of 5 series this year in the playoffs. Yeah, best of 5 with the in the first round of the playoffs this year. Only the top 4 teams make the playoffs. The first place team gets to choose their opponent, which is hilarious. You just have a semifinals and a finals. I was talking about many moons ago, we were talking about the penalty that happened that led to the goal there for the Sceptres. And what happened was we had Jinsey Rose knock Sarah Nurse on her rear end. And Jinsey Rose came up to Nurse and knocked her down right head on. It was a smack from the chest, from the shoulder to the chest. And the rule in the PWHL is that you got to... Oh, yeah, Deb, I'm getting back to it. So the rule is you got to be side to side to lay a body check. You have to be parallel with your opponent to check them. You can't check them shoulder to chest and head on. That's considered a penalty. But if you're side to side, and let's say your opponent's against the boards there, and you're going like this, like say this bottle's my opponent's shoulder, and we check this way, that's legal. That's legal to check them in the side like that. That's why you saw that big hit on MMLT earlier go uncalled, because that wasn't head on to from shoulder to chest head on. So that's why that was a penalty. That's why the earlier hit from Jocelyn Larocque on MMLT wasn't a penalty, and that's the nuances of the game from the women's game to the men's game, from the PWHL to the NHL. End of the second period. We've reached the end of the second period. 3-1 for the Sceptres. They played out the last 2 minutes there, and nothing happened in terms of goals on the board. And the Sceptres go into the next intermission with a 2-goal lead. They just got to hold on to it. I'm very confident that they're going to close out this game. They've been looking good here, capitalizing on their opportunities, capitalizing on what they do best at, which is score power play goals. They got 2 of them so far this game. It's been a really good game here for the Sceptres. They've been able to beat Mashmeyer, who's a fantastic goaltender. And Kirk's look good as we're getting the night off for Kristen Campbell. As she gets the night off. They just played on Thursday. So I got no complaints about this game so far for the Sceptres now that we've seen these first 2 periods play out and they got this lead. One more period to close things out, and we get to celebrate a victory with more dancing animals, with more brain rot graphics, and we're going to have a good little third here, hopefully, if they close this thing out. Okay. So what's going to happen here is we watched a clip during the first intermission of Steve talking about the trade that went down with Vancouver and Pittsburgh. And now we have a clip from the Steve Dangle podcast about the Toronto Maple Leafs and their struggles as of late. So I will play that for you, and then we'll come back. Other things I should update you on and tell you about before we exit the intermission and go to the break. SDP VIP. If you're not a member of SDP VIP, what it is a channel subscription. So you get to subscribe to our YouTube channel or to YouTube channel, if I don't mumble my words, or on Spotify, you can subscribe to SDP VIP, or to Apple, on Apple Podcasts, you can subscribe to the SDP VIP. I'll work my way backwards. On Apple Podcasts, if you subscribe to SDP VIP, you can do that with a free trial, where you can subscribe and become a member with a free 30-day free trial, or through a year full subscription, and it is discounted if you subscribe there for a full year. You get every episode of the Steve Dangle podcast ad-free, which is a huge deal to some people who really hate ads, and you get an extra episode of the Steve Dangle podcast every single week. If you subscribe to SDP VIP on Spotify, that will get you the podcast in video form on your Spotify app, which is exclusive to VIP members because we don't upload them as videos on the regular Spotify feed. There, you don't get the free trial. You don't get a year's subscription. It's monthly, just like that. But you also get every episode of the Steve Dangle podcast ad-free on Spotify, plus video, plus the bonus episode. If you subscribe to VIP on YouTube right now, where you are, you get the bonus episode every single week. You get a fun little thing you get a fun little emote on the chat here on any of our streams. You get to interact and people will know like you're a VIP member and all that fun stuff. You get the bonus episode, you get video. You don't get the ad-free episodes. That is another tier of SDP VIP that you can pay for on YouTube. So that is what SDP VIP is. So if you get gifted a membership here in the chat, you are getting a YouTube membership to the SDP VIP tier. It's a lot of words that I fumbled over, but we got through it. Steve is streaming the Leafs game, the Leafs Edmonton Oilers game tonight. That is coming up on the channel. If you have not hit subscribe in our channel, hit subscribe. You are here right now. You might as well just hit subscribe. If you're not like this video, hit like on this video while you're here. If you are liking this content, drop any questions you have in the chat. I will answer them during the third period when we come back. And now I will play the video for you from the Steve Dangle podcast, and I will be back after it is done.
And you have scorers 4 and 5 out.
Yeah.
You know, and Tavares and Nyes. I think that matters.
It does.
And
It does.
I know the games keep coming and the schedule, whatever. Minnesota's a good team.
Without Kaprizov.
Without Kaprizov. Now, listen, when a team is coming into Toronto without their star player, you know the Leafs are about to get pumped. That is a guarantee every time going to happen. But the other side of it is they have looked, guys, a little discombobulated. And that's been for a couple of games. It wasn't great against the Senators. Again, I'm acknowledging that they've had a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Pacioretty back for his first game. Like McMahon playing up on the first line.
And I like him, but he's not nice.
Well, of course not.
They don't play the same.
Yeah, and I want to talk about too, like earlier on in January, had trouble scoring then too, right? They won tight games against Philly where they look like crap.
If you want a rosy glasses way to look at it, the Leafs have allowed, 5 goals over the last 2 games? 2 of them have been goals from the sticks of their opponents against a goalie. Wool has allowed 2 shots.
One was off a knee, and one was off of their own stick.
One was off a knee, one was off their stick, and another was an empty netter.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I think the defense is doing pretty good. I think the goaltending is doing pretty good.
The problem here is the offense, and
they can't score.
I don't think on many teams, if you walk into the rink and McMahon and Holmberg are like top 6 forwards, like you're not
going to win a lot.
You're not looking at that team being like, they got enough.
Nylander's line mates have 5 goals combined.
Mm-hmm. That's
guys.
the real concern.
It's
I don't think it's the microscope on each individual game. It's the overview of the team and how they have a lot of work to do for the deadline.
Hey, the fact that Nylander still scored despite the fact
still scored good assists,
and he can drive a line, and it is worth the money obviously to have him. But yeah, I think you have probably some things that you could switch out. And Jesse, you said they need 3 forwards. 2 of them are Tavares and Nyes, I think, but you need at least one more impactful forward.
I think by the
been
time
such a disappointment.
He has been a
I'm finally ready to admit I'm very disappointed, and because I thought we saw the best of him last year.
Yeah,
he hasn't been good enough, and like that guy, like talk about can't drive a line, right? And there were times where you see that third line with him, McMahon, and Robertson, and you're like, yeah, they got it. They lit up lesser opponents, and anytime they took on a contender, they got run over. The Leafs need at forward, I think, is why Brandon Saad is going to be a Leaf by the time the show is up.
So you think he will, eh?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that he's that good though. Like I
didn't say that.
Is he not more of what they have in the bottom 6, which is takes up space and can't score? Like
he's the guy that they'll give a shot to.
But he's apparently looking for big money because he gave up $5 million or whatever's left. And so apparently he's not coming into town for a max deal or something.
What he wants more than even like a big payday is the next year's contract. So he wants a 2-year deal. This year prorated plus next year. And apparently there's a bunch of teams offering him that.
Really?
Yeah. So they're going to sign him for the rest of this year and then next year. Because for him to give up $5 million is crazy, but it's because there's on the table a contract for next year.
He has 16 points in 43 games, guys.
Doing it in the playoffs is so important. You can ride that for so frigging long. When was his last? Like, I know he's got the 2.
Last time he was in the playoffs was 21-22 with the Blues. He had 5 points in 12 games.
What are we doing?
Well, I don't think the Leafs are. I know that the Leafs are rumored to be in, but I don't think they're the front runner. And I just don't see how, unless you're moving bodies out, like, where does he fit?
Well, I think you probably waive guys. Because, like, listen, do you want to give up draft capital? Not really. Do you want to give up your prospects? Not really. All right, well, if a guy becomes available to sign as a free agent who's been playing in the NHL all year, it actually makes a lot of sense.
But giving up cap this time of year can be devastating to...
Well,
like, he's not going to get you... He's a winger.
I don't sign him to an amount that's not variable.
Well, but that's...
he just went through that.
Yeah, he
No,
just
I
said,
know.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Well, if he's not doing that, then I think that's unreasonable and you're out.
Well, yeah, and that's why I don't think the Leafs are going to get him. They have $2 million in cap space. They're projected, because of the LTIR, they will have $2 million by the deadline. I don't know, man.
Everyone seems to have itchy thumbs right now, and they're all making trades or rumored to be. I'm not going to yell it. Brad, where you at, man? Bradley, where you at? Like, okay, well, they're in first place. God, we used the shit out of that, didn't we? Well, they're not anymore, are they? They're second place, and the Sens are 4 points behind them. Dun, 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 dun. Work
Well,
those
actually,
phones,
sorry, that
man.
doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, it
Doesn't
matter? It doesn't matter. Oh, okay.
I was told that that's...
That's good. Well, thank you. I'm new to the sport, so it's always good to have it talked at me. Mm-hmm. Like, what are we doing here?
The other thing I want to mention is that Calle Yarncroke, and people laughed at me for this, and I don't give a shit. Calle Yarncroke scored 2 years ago, 20 goals.
Calle Yarncroke is exactly the kind of player they could use right now.
Yarncroke would be great.
He'd be great. And I don't know how, like, they expect him back before the playoffs. That is for sure.
That's
So-
surprising to me.
So
It's good news.
it's great news. So this guy who had, he had, 10 goals, 11 assists in 54 games last year. That is exactly the type of thing that you need in the bottom six
He
right
is
now.
such a consistent goal scorer. Go look at his career. Every year, like it's not a high pocket, but there's this pocket that he finds every damn year.
Yep.
He's going to be somewhere between 13 and 20 goals.
Perfect. Great. That's what we need.
13 goals makes him a sniper on this team. In the bottom six, holy crap.
I'm also
Easy there, Maurice.
I'm also looking at it's been funny. People like on the stream are like, well, what if the Leafs? There's the we mentioned it I think in the last show, the Kyprios, Morgan Riley for JT Miller. First off, JT Miller wants to go to the Eastern United States, although Toronto's close to the Eastern United States. Second, Northeastern United States, apparently where he wants to be. Second, people are like, why? Kipper was like, well, why not Morgan Riley? No movement clause, just had a baby. Wife's entire business is based out of Toronto. I don't think so.
Sidebar. You know what's going to be highly entertaining?
What?
When JT Miller and Elias Pettersson are both traded to rival teams in the East.
And they got to play each other?
Hell yeah.
I like that. I'm into that. I'm into that.
go.
JT Miller to the Rangers. Carolina gets Pettersson or something like that. to
JT
the-
Miller also has a 15-team no trade.
Yeah.
So I believe all the Canadian teams are probably on that.
Oh, that's exactly what I mean. Like, he's
They
not
might be
waiting
on
to
it
come
twice.
in.
Morgan also has one. So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna
Morgan's
work out.
not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop, everyone.
Yep. And then so beyond that, people are like, "Wow, why don't you just? Whoa, you could be Morgan Riley, Nick Robertson." Like, guys,
stop.
what do you think Nick Robertson's trade value
Stop.
is?
What are we doing? Knock it off. Knock it off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
just
yeah.
got people
There
are
you
just
go.
chomping at the bit for Nick Robertson. No disrespect to Nick Robertson, but he's had a down year. He needed to have a great year. He's been trying. He's been pretty good at times. It's been really
I
dry
don't
at
think
times.
Riley and a first-round pick gets it done.
Of course not.
Like, they're big game hunting here.
Yeah, they want a player back.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Leafs have that. I think
He's also not a center.
yeah, that's also a problem. Pettersson is. But long story short with the Leafs, it does seem like there needs to be some sort of trade. Again, if you look at the Jonas and Jonas Siegel and Chris Johnston list, every single player on that list, I'm like, okay. Oh, that's expensive. Oh, that's expensive. Oh, that's really expensive. And so I'm hoping that.
Yeah, but you're trying to win. Who cares what the prices are?
Well, apparently
Damn.
the Leafs do. They don't want to give up another first. So which is it, man?
Yeah. That's what I'm
Which
saying.
is it?
It's like, okay, so you don't want to win. You're going to go into the playoffs with a team that's not as good. Like, cool.
Do you see the problem with this being built into your every season? Every season, you go in with a top-heavy, flawed team, which means you need to spend. And every year we go, oh, we don't want to spend. And then they either don't and lose, or they do and lose.
At least you tried.
But at least you tried.
But at least you tried. I hope the Leafs go for it. Like this is like it's been enough. We don't need to rehash the Toronto Maple Leafs and their playoff failures. It's every year needs to be a go for it year for the Leafs because they don't have any excuses left. They need to get it done. And yeah, we don't need to spend a lot of time on the Toronto Maple Leafs. But Deb in the chat, shout out Deb. Deb asked a question about the Four Nations. Deb said, who would you pick to rep Canada in the Four Nations? Who is the biggest snub? And let's pull up Canada Four Nations team. I'm very interested to see how they formulate the line combinations. Like the line combinations are going to be fascinating with how they organize this team because it's a team stacked with centermen and guys who can play anywhere. And you want to know, like, does Crosby get Marner? You know, is it McDavid Marner? Is it McKinnon Crosby? Is it Marchand Crosby? I think you go with Marchand Crosby with kind of the old guys for sure, I think. And then you got to pair up Point and Hagel. You have to do them together, I think, just because of the relationship there, being on the same team and all that fun stuff. And then what do you do with, like, do you go McDavid? No, you got to split up McDavid, McKinnon, I guess. Is it Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon? Is Crosby a winger? No, like we couldn't possibly. It's going to be awesome. The tournament's going to be so much fun. In terms of, so with the line, Deb didn't even ask that. Deb said, who would you pick to rep Canada in the Four Nations? I think like what they have there in terms of roster, in terms of forwards, I think you can't go wrong. They made the right decisions there. The only place I would nitpick the Team Canada roster, and I think if you put truth serum into the people who put together this team, they would not have Sam Montembeault on the team. Like, I don't think anybody would look at this team and say, yeah, this is a better team with Sam Montembeault. They should have on this team Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson should be a member of Team Canada's goalie trio ahead of Sam Montembeault, probably ahead of Aiden Hill as well. Because Logan Thompson has outplayed all of them, and he's outplayed Jordan Binnington. I would say Logan Thompson's been the best Canadian goaltender in the entire league this season, and it's a real shame that the decisions have to be made so early on and that he can't be a replacement for one of Hill, Montembeault, or Binnington. Because I think if we started the tournament today and built the rosters today, he's the starting goaltender for the Four Nations Team Canada team. So that's the biggest mistake there that they got going with the Canada team. There's nothing that can be done unless there's an injury to one of the three goaltenders, so we just got to live with that. And fingers crossed that the USA, with Connor Hellebuck and all of their stars, and Austin Matthews and Tage Thompson didn't make the team, and all of their stars don't beat up on the Canadian team. Let me pull up the Four Nations USA roster because, yeah, I don't know it too well off the top of my head. But it's going to be Connor, Eichel, Faber, Fox, Boldy, Gensel, Hellebuck, Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes, Kreider, Matthews, McAvoy, JT Miller, Brock Nelson, Jake Ottinger, Jacob Slavin, Jeremy Swayman, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, Vincent Trojak, Zach Werenski. Puck is dropped on the third period of the Toronto Sceptres Ottawa Charge game. 19, let me count this in for you. 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44. If you want to sync up your screen with my screen, that is where we are at. 39, 37, 36, 35, 34. Back to Team USA's roster. Chance for the Charge out front. They can't get a shot on goal. Team USA, I think, is the favorites to win the tournament. Like, when you have that depth of goaltending, like, I think Canada probably wins on their D. I'm going to give the edge to Canada on D. No, but they have Quinn Hughes and McAvoy and Fox and Faber. I think Canada's depth in D is ahead of USA's. The forward group of USA, I think it might be tied. USA wins in goal. Canada's defense is Makar, Morrissey, Parayko, Sanheim, Theodore, Tays. Okay, forward group, I give to Canada. Defense, I give to Canada? Defense is tied. Goaltending, I lean USA. So, it's going to be tight. I'm giving USA the edge, though, because goaltending is so important in this tournament. Connor Hellebuck can have 3 good games and win the whole tournament, or 4 good games and win the whole tournament for USA, regardless of how well anybody plays. That's where I'm sitting right now. All right. We are another stoppage here, 1903. Charge couldn't get the puck on net on Kirk, who swats it away. Now we got a face-off. The Sceptres have struggled all game long in the face-off dot. We'll see what they can do here, if they can win it. Turnbull loses the draw. Another face-off win for the Charge. Leads to a okay chance out front. Charge keep the puck in the zone. They are trying to get something going there. A puck squirts out to the middle of the slot. Nothing doing, though. It goes right by. Another shot. Oh! The Charge player runs over Kirk. Monroe pushes the body of Emily Clark, who is trying to fight out front. Clark's been all over the net. That's a smart player, Emily Clark. Emily Clark just goes to the net every single play. That is where she lives, in front of the net. It's how she scored earlier. She's there again this time. Cleared off, though, by Monroe on D. But then hits Kirk. But everybody's okay. We're on the power play here. The Charge are. Minute left here on the power play for the Charge. It's a nice play in front. Kirk squeezes the puck. Almost a nice little shot there. Ooh, say no more. Sorry, I missed the say no more. In the chat says, does TML let Marner go and full court press Rantanen? This TML needs shake up. If they lose, first of all, thank you. Thank you, say no more. If the Leafs lose, like, everything's on the table. as they said last year, where everything's on the table. But yeah, if they lose, I think Marner walks, and then you have so much money. I don't know if Rantanen is the answer. I don't think Rantanen could be the answer, but then you get into the same situation that the Leafs are currently in, where you are spending a bunch of money on your top players, and you don't have enough salary cap space to fill out the rest of your roster. So I don't know if Rantanen is the answer. Oh, there's a trip there. Nothing's called on the Sceptres. Here they go, 2-on-1 the other way, 2-on-2 really. Shot, Mashmeyer doesn't make the save. That's Blair Turnbull once again with the goal. Sceptres goal. That was quick. All right, so that whole sequence, we had the charge player fallen down at center ice. It was Brianne Jenner. Brianne Jenner falls down. We get 2-on-1-ish. Charge kind of catch up. Oh, Brianne Jenner's hurt and is going back to the dressing room. Oh, no, you never want to see that. So Brianne Jenner's injured in the middle of the ice. Turnbull picks up the puck, has got a player with her, decides to keep it, snipes it past Mashmeyer. 5th goal of the season, 2nd goal today. Sceptres score. 4-1 Sceptres. Ty Smith in the chat. Not happy. Thought there should have been a tripping call on the Sceptres there for Brianne Jenner falling to the ice. But I don't think it was as a result of a trip by the Sceptres. I'd have to see the replay. But I'm pretty sure she fell down on her own. I don't know. I got to see the replay. Either way, refs didn't call it. It's 4-1 Sceptres. Unfortunate injury there. Charger playing a player down. Emma Malte tries to charge the net. We had a question here from Entire Pizza. Who is your favorite dancing animal? I don't play favorites with the Dancing Animal Squad, the DOS. Oh, there's a nice shot there. Is that Malte with the shot? That was run out fast. Malte's got it now. Back around the top. Oh! I don't play favorites with the Dancing Animal Squad, but if I were to highlight one member. Here we go. The Sceptres got the puck out front. Mashmeyer squeezes it. And we got a stoppage at 15:44 of the third period. If we have to highlight one member of the Dancing Animal Squad today, it is the Snail. The Snail and the Jig. Oh, that dancing. How can you not look at this Snail and not get an instant smile on your face? All your problems are gone. Oh, they're showing the replay here. Let me see if I can get a better look at that. Brianne Jenner. Oh, yeah. So that is... Oh! Brianne Jenner's not tripped. Just catches an edge. Her right ankle. Oh. Brianne Jenner's right ankle just bends in. I just keep watching the replay. Let's get back to the live action. Falls down. Right ankle catches something, and it bends inward. It's nasty on the broadcast, that replay. I just kept watching it over and over again, to be honest. And now she's in the back. It unfortunately led to a goal for the Sceptres. Fortunately for us, it led to a goal. Unfortunately for the Charge. But yeah, finally got a good, clear replay of that. Snail if we're talking about the Dancing Animal Squad, Snail gets the spotlight of the night. Brings so much joy to the people. We are at 14:30 of the third. The Sceptres are beginning to run away with this as they delight the home crowd with a 4-1 lead here in the third period. The Charge are charging through the zone. A nice 2-on-1. They can't connect on the pass, and there's a shot on goal. Here's Turnbull again going for the hat trick. Passes it off. Puck's going the other way now for the Charge. Bach with a nice shot, but it bounces off of a leg here. We got the Charge in the zone, working the puck along the blue line. Oh, snipe show! Mazava. Okay. Okay. Wow. Did not expect top cheddar out of nowhere from the left dot. Kirk gets beat clean. That's Katarina's second goal of the season. All right. All right. 2-1 for the Sceptres. That goal came out of nowhere. That was a fantastic shot there. By the Charge's first line center. Mrazova. I never want to say Katarina's name incorrectly. You know, we're doing the game here. We want to get the names right. Mrazova. Katarina. That's her second goal of the season. She's got 2 goals now, 3 assists, 5 points on the year. Czech Republic born Katarina Mrazova. Here's a break for the Sceptres. Nice save there by Mashmeyer to keep the Charge in this game. Keep the lead for the Sceptres only at 2. Colin, Czech Republic as well. Oh, there's a nice save by Kirk. Reagan Kirk with a nice save on the Gabby Hughes shot. Katarina Mrazova is from Colin, Czech Republic. I got to be honest, I never heard of Colin, Kolin. Went to the University of Minnesota Duluth. I gotta do more studying on the Czech Republic. We're gonna get so many hockey stars out of there. Let's look up the population of Kolin, Czechia. Okay, and Kolin, Czechia. Kolin, town in the Czech Republic. Populations 33,000. Oh my god, not a big place at all. Let's listen to the pronunciation. Kolín. There we go. I listened to the pronunciation. I don't know if you guys could hear that coming through the headphones, but Kolín, Czech Republic, is a town in the central Bohemian region, about 33,000 inhabitants. The historic town center is well preserved and is protected by law as an urban monument reservation. Oh my goodness. Kolín is a pretty cool place. Let's see if there's any fun facts about Kolín. Let's see. I'm just on the Wikipedia page. The historical center of the town, formed by the Karlovo Square and surrounding streets, has many Gothic and Baroque buildings. Okay, fun. Notable people. I have not heard of any of these people. There's a photographer, an operatic soprano. Oh, these people were born like a long time ago. Look. Hey, Mrazova's not on this page. Somebody who edits Wikipedia needs to add Katerina to the notable people page. Peter Kaslava, an ice hockey player, was born there as well, but they never played in the NHL. This is, what a shame. Somebody who can edit Wikipedia needs to add Mrazova to the page. There's not a lot of fun facts about Kolín, Czech Republic. All right. There you go. You learn a thing or two every day. You know, every day of your life, you want to try and learn something. I learned something today. 33,000 people in Kolín, Czech Republic. Chumplet 89. I got a Sceptres jersey for Christmas, but I have to wait until I get birthday money to put Sarah Nurse's name on the back of it. Can't wait. Yeah, Sarah Nurse is a great option to throw on the back of the Sceptres jersey. She's an absolute star. We got 1150 on my screen. 48, 47, 46, 45. Reagan Kirk covers the puck. We have another face-off draw here for in the Charge. The Charge hopefully can win it because they've been winning face-off draws all night long. We'll see if they win it here and can get some pressure here on the offensive zone. Sceptres can win a rare draw. Hey, they do! Nurse wins that one, and they clear the puck. Well done. 4-2. Play some solid defense here for 11:55 left, Sceptres, and you will walk away with a victory at home. If the Sceptres win, we got a little chance here. 2-on-1, a good opportunity. Smothered by Mashmeyer. That was Malte on the play with Daryl Watts. Daryl Watts just ran out of room, ran right into Mashmeyer. If the Sceptres win this game here today, do they hop Ottawa in the standings? Let's just triple check the standings here. We got 16. Yeah, so if the Sceptres can win this game in regulation here, close out this victory, they will hop over the Sceptres and the Fleet in the standings. The Sceptres can go from out of the playoffs in 6th to in the playoffs in 4th with this victory. Now, Boston does have 2 games in hand over the Sceptres. Mashmeyer is down on the ice, taking a second, is injured. The trainer's out talking to her. This is not great for Ottawa. That is their star goaltender who's on the ice after Daryl Watts ran into her. It seems like she just needs a second to get recomposed. I don't think she's coming out of the game, but we will keep an eye on this here. She got her stick back. I think she's going to be okay and stay in the game. I don't think there's any concussion protocol that's pulling her out. She's good. Mashmeyer's staying in the game, and we roll on. So let's go back to the standings right now, because this game, if the Sceptres win this game, they hop from 6th to 4th. They'll go from 16 points to 19 points in the standings. They'll pass Ottawa and Boston. And hopefully Boston doesn't win those games that they have in hand in regulation. Ottawa is obviously not going to win this game here in regulation if the Sceptres win. So they'll be the same amount of games. It's just Boston with those games in hand can catch Boston or Toronto and take back that playoff spot if they get those victories. So we'll see how that goes. 10:45 on my screen as Mashmeyer covers the puck once again. The Bear in Forest says, off topic, but where can I find the hoodie Adam was wearing on Friday's pod? Can't find it in the SDPN shop. That was not a hoodie that is available yet in the SDPN shop. There you go. So maybe we will get that hoodie there, but that was made by someone for us, and it's something that may get added along with some other stuff to the SDPN shop. So keep an eye on sdpnshop.ca because we're going to have a big drop of a whole bunch of new stuff, definitely including maybe that hoodie, maybe. We'll see. Maybe jerseys or something else too. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be Dangle Navy jerseys back in the shop eventually at some point, sometime. Here's a play around the back of the net for the Charge. They cannot squeeze it by Kirk. Hannah Miller coming into the zone. Throws it wide, cross ice. I hope we get, if there's an empty net, I hope we get a hat trick here. We get a Turnbull hat trick. That'd be fun to see. We are now at 10 minutes of the third. 10 minutes left to play. 9:50 on the clock here. Ottawa needs to play with a little bit more urgency if they want to get into this game, get back into this game. Still down 2 goals. Toronto's done a great job right now slowing down the play, limiting the opportunities. Oh, there's what I'm just talking about opportunities. Here's a big one right now for the Charge. Kirk's in the right spot, right place, right time. The puck was going a little wide. It bounced off a couple of bodies, but stays out of the net. And we are going to a commercial break. Mo Bailey says, need Gripper Nation and Crab People jerseys too. Maybe that's included in the jersey drop that's coming soon. And I'm not saying that a jersey drop is coming soon, but there may be a jersey drop coming soon to sdpnshop.ca. I'm not saying we're working on it, but I'm definitely not saying we're working on it. So stay tuned for that. If you want more exclusive behind the scenes SDPN teases, maybe watch more of our streams because that's where you get them. Take a look at some of the stats for the PWHL this season. We had our stats for the goaltenders. Let's take a look at some of the stats for the forwards here. The skaters, I should say. Kendall Coyne Schofield leads the league in points, tied with Sarah Fillier. Fillier? I can't say it. I'm sorry. Taylor Heisey, 14 points as well. Claire Thompson, 14 points as well. Renata Fast, second, or tied, or I guess fifth, technically. If there's 4 people tied for first, Renata Fast is fifth with 13 points. In the goals lead, we got Marie-Philippe Poulin with 8 goals leading the league. Hannah Miller, Toronto Sceptres, 7 goals. Second place in the league. In the NHL, looking at the scoreboard, we have the Rangers losing 2-1 to the Bruins. You guys can see those scores there. The Wild play the Sens later. Islanders play the Lightning. Where's the Blackhawks game? The Blackhawks-Panthers game finished 5-1 for the Panthers. That is brutal. We had a McAvoy goal. Oh, JT Miller scored. Hey. We got a JT Miller goal. I don't know if you guys can see there we go. JT Miller goal as action returns here with the Sceptres game. JT Miller scores in his first game as a New York Ranger. How fun is that? 8:58 left here in the third period. Oh! Dark Angelo almost wide open cage shoots it right over the net. Glorious opportunity for the Charge. They can't. Oh! 8:35 here. Play is stopped. We're going to get the replay. Angelo had the puck on her stick. Great defensive play. Oh, who came back and made that play? They made it a little difficult. No, I think Dark Angelo just missed that. It just hit off the end of her stick there. Just hit off the toe of the blade. Just couldn't make solid contact and can't put it in the back of the net. Cheyenne, Dark Angelo, Brighton. From Brighton. Brighton, Michigan. Population 7,446. This is my new favorite game. Just looking up where these players are from and learning about these cities. Brighton, Michigan. Population of under 8,000. Home of Cheyenne Dark Angelo. It's one name. It's not, there's no hyphen in Dark Angelo. When you say it, you're like, is it Dark Angelo? But it's Dark Angelo. Dark Angelo. It's one last name. Say No More writes, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Little confetti for you. Let's bring out the snail. Turtleneck wearing snail with a smile on their face. What's your position on Tavares and Marner salaries if we re-sign them? Or what is your position on what we should do? We can do a little Tavares because we've done Marner. We can revisit Marner too. We have, if you allow me to drink some water, we have 7 minutes left here on the clock. JT is a interesting case of the new salary cap. Because ideally, if you get John Tavares anywhere under $6 million, like, oh my goodness, sign that today. 6.5, I can deal with that too. Because remember, you're paying him to be high-end winger, second-line center, like it's pretty good. Great value. But does he ask for more now that we know the salary cap, 634, by the way, on my screen, play has stopped. Now that he knows the salary cap is going through the moon, does John Tavares bump up the price he's asking for? Is he going to want $8 million? Because I think somebody's going to give him $8 million to be a second-line center on their team. I think there's plenty of teams who are in positions to need high-end talent like that, and John Tavares is still so productive. People want to cast this guy off as an old fart, and he's so far from that. He's still performing as well as he performed in the prime of his career. And if the Toronto Maple Leafs let him go, they're just going to be searching for a John Tavares replacement. Here's a chance in front. Charge can't get anything going on net. If the Toronto Maple Leafs let Tavares go, it's going to be difficult to replace him. So I think they have to find a way to re-sign him. Here's a chance for the Sceptres on goal. Off! Just wide. I thought it was off the post, but Mashmeyer, I think, got a piece of it and it went wide. Oh, penalty? Oh, did Mulp? Okay, let's sort out this penalty situation. Ottawa's going to the power play. I think Malte laid a giant hit that was illegal. Okay, so they didn't show the penalty as we went to break. So we'll have to come back after the break and see what penalty is laid against the Sceptres there. JT loves Toronto too much. He's not going anywhere. He's going to make a lot of money, but it's going to be a hometown discount for sure. That's where I land on John Tavares. Thank you, Robert, in the chat. That's where we land with John Tavares. He's going to want, he can't take nothing. That's unreasonable to expect him to take $4 million or something like that. And even now, when people were speculating John's going to take 5.5 or something just to stick around Toronto, I think that's still a little too low. It's going to be a little north of that, but it's not going to be unreasonable. It's not going to, he could command $8 million, but I don't think he takes that from the Leafs because he does not want to go anywhere. We'll see if the Charge can get this power play goal here, because that makes this game very interesting if they make it a 1-goal game with 6 minutes to go, or less than 6 minutes to go here, if they capitalize on this power play. But we will see what this penalty is when we come back. I think it's an illegal hit by Emma Malte, but I'm not too sure until we can check out the replay. Game's coming back here. Been a good day for all the fans at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Sold out crowd once again. Ottawa has struggled to score mightily this season, as I've mentioned several times. So yeah, it is on MMLT. Let's see this hit. Oh, that's a penalty. It's close, but I think it's for sure a penalty. It's close, but it's a penalty. It wasn't completely parallel. She needs to lay the shoulder into the shoulder more. It got too much chest there. Emma Malte, 2 minutes for illegal body checking. To the power play, the Charge are a minute 45 left in the power play. Already 15 seconds expired as the puck went all the way back down to the other end of the ice. 5:15 on the clock. Charge gotta have some urgency here as they need 2 goals. They've won the shot chart all game long, 32 shots to 18 shots, but that has not resulted in winning the goal chart so far this game. And they haven't done much on this power play opportunity. Toronto does have a pretty good penalty kill, if I remember the stats from their penalty kill. We'll see if they can hold fort here. 1:05 left. Oh, player trips behind the Charge net. Hits aren't allowed in the PWHL. It says Rocky Zomb, but it's fun to see some big hits. Yeah, no, hits are allowed. It's just you can't hit face to face. You know, you got to hit shoulder to shoulder against the boards kind of stuff. But there have been some big hits, like we saw one earlier today, the LaRock one on Malte, which was a legal hit. That was definitely fun, and it's a very physical game they play. Devin says Sirens versus Victoire tomorrow before the break starts. Join to watch Sarah Fillier and Alex Carpenter feed each other goals, and Captain Clutch and her lovely wife rack up the goals. Yeah, that's going to be a good game tomorrow. 2 good teams. And then, yes, we get a short break in the PWHL calendar as players go away to play for their home countries. Setting up for the power play is Ottawa. It has expired now. Clear the puck. No shots on goal. That power play for the Charge. Great D from the Sceptres. You have to imagine that Mashmeyer in net is looking towards the bench, trying to come out as soon as the Charge get control of the puck here. We will see if we can get Blair Turnbull the hat trick goal on the empty net. That is what I'm rooting for right now, as I'm very hopeful that the Sceptres can close out this game. I'm thinking, what do we do with this empty net? We throw Blair Turnbull on the ice for all of the last 2 minutes, and you get her that hat trick. You get all the hats on the ice for the home crowd, and we walk off into the night a happy Toronto Sceptres team. We will see how it goes. Rocky Zimb says, I'm hoping to see MPP live one day. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Marie-Philippe Poulin play live. I'm trying to think about the Sceptres games I've been to, and I don't think they've played Montreal in any of them. That's got to be on the list. I think I have a similar list to you, Rocky Zimb. So Mashmeyer tried to go to the bench there, had to retreat. All right, minute 50 left on the clock. Let's dial in here, Sceptres. You got this game all wrapped up except for the last minute 35. Oh, there's a chance in the slot. Looked a little dangerous for the Charge, but Sceptres are able to clear it. 90 seconds left. We're counting down. Let's get some dramatic music in this. Oh, that's not the dramatic music. There we go. Minute 15. For the opportunity to hop up from last place in the standings to 4th place and in a playoff spot. The Toronto Sceptres just have to close out. 54 seconds left in this game as the Ottawa Charge try to charge the net and get 2 quick goals to close it out. A one-timer by the Charge goes wide, and the Sceptres still hold on. 36 seconds left until victory for this Coca-Cola Coliseum crowd. We'll see if they can do it. Robert Tipple says, shoot, I just got home. What did I miss? Robert Tipple, you missed the whole game. You missed 2 power play goals from the Sceptres. You missed a pretty good performance by Kirk. Got sniped top corner by Colin, Czech Republic's very own Katarina. So we will watch the last 30 seconds of this game together. Robert Tippy, you missed the whole game. Mashmeyer, I think, has played well. You'd like a little better defense in front of her by Ottawa. But what can you do against this power play that has been so deadly this season? That's kind of the difference here in this game. If you're looking at this from the Ottawa side of it, you say the power play is the difference. Special teams is where we got beat. We couldn't capitalize on our opportunities on the power play. Toronto did take care of their business on special teams. And that's kind of the 2-goal difference here today in Toronto. 25 seconds left on the clock. Icing by the Charge. We're going 22.6. Rocky Zim says, it's weird. I'm a Leafs fan, but since the PWHL has started, I've been a Charge fan. I like their goalie and Jenner. Hey, how dare you? How dare you? You got to stick with the Toronto teams. You got to be a Sceptres fan. You got to be a Tempo fan. You got to be a Leafs fan. Raptors, Blue Jays. 12 seconds left on the clock. 10 seconds now. We're getting closer to victory. One more face-off. 6.1 seconds left. This is the game. We are about to celebrate. Can you, before I hit this celebration button, as we count down the last 6 seconds of this game, can you let me know where you watched today's stream from? Because I love ending every stream by shouting you guys out. And wherever you watched the game from today, along with me. Drop it in the chat as we end the game. The time has ticked away. The Toronto Sceptres are victorious today in Toronto. Bring out the Dancing Animal Squad. Bring out the call-outs for where you are watching from. We got 2 Ottawas, Lipstick in Brampton, Jesse in Kingston, Deb in Virginia, Mark in Bloomington, Manitoulin Island, Rocky, Buford, Steve's watching from Buford, Chumplet from Newmarket, Niagara region, High River, Alberta, Jackie from Edmonton, What If from Brantford, Bloomfield, Colorado, Nick, Sacramento, Devin, Halifax, Rudy, Brian, Denver, Entire Pizza from Mississauga. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be watching here today, and I appreciate you for that. We got to celebrate a 4-2 Scepter victory today. Great afternoon for Scepters hockey. Steve Dangle will be streaming again on this channel. The Leafs Oilers game tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for that. Hit like on this video. Hit subscribe on the channel if you have not done that already. We are done. That is it. Good night.